Yes, Jumani, also known as Jubian Watchner, is always Arsenal. Brand new season. Yes, of course, it's been a while since I communicated with you. But say what? We took a little break, still maintained every single attention paid to Arsenal. But with regards to our game review, this is officially review number one for the 2023-2024 season. And yes, we started on the right foot somewhat against Nottingham Forest, and we came out with a 2-1 victory, courtesy goals coming from Eddie Nketiah, Eddie Nketiah, and Bukayo Saka. So let me just get into the lineup. Of course, we started strangely with Gabriel on the bench. Yeah, that was surprising. But we started with Ramsdale in goal, Saliba in the back, Anchor in the back line, of course, Ben White to the right of him, and Timber to the left of him. Of course, Partey would have played the right back position in the defensive shape. But of course, going forward, he would have contributed in the midfield alongside Declan Rice, our new signing. And of course, we had Martinelli on one side, Saka on the other side, Odegaard in front of the defensive midfield, and Eddie Nketiah starting on top. Now, when I looked at the lineup, I was kind of disappointed because I feel like as much as we playing against a lesser opponent in terms of quality, I felt like why not start Gabriel alongside Saliba? Anyhow you take it. And the Eddie Nketiah starting on top, I was cool with it. But of course, we had Kai Havertz also playing right behind him. And I still not convinced with regards to why we signed Kai Havertz. But alright, I ain't ready to get into that yet. We dominated the game, dominated the entire game, dominated possession. We first to the ball, we retrieved the ball every time we lost it, and we lost it just on the minimal side. And the flow of the football was nice. What I didn't like though is the fact that in the transition, we weren't necessarily doing it fast enough. I'm talking from midfield to the forward line. And Kai Havertz have a part to play in it. I think he was kind of slowing down the play. I don't know if that is based on instruction. Of course, naturally, he's not really a quick player. He's very technical. He's very good on the ball. But I felt like he slowed down the play and kind of stifled the flow. That's just my take. People might say I'm biased because of my opinion with regards to Kai Havertz, but it kind of slowed down the play. Nevertheless, we ended up scoring 2 goals. Beautiful goals. Eddie Nketiah receiving the ball from Martinelli's skill. Martinelli is my player. I like Martinelli. But I feel like the back heel wasn't necessarily intentional. I feel it was like a roly-poly gone bad. It worked out well because he had the natural skills. So I given him the benefit of the doubt, but it could have been a little flukes too. Nevertheless, Eddie Nketiah took the opportunity, received the ball, fake and spank it. Fantastic goal. And based on the comments coming from Arteta, Eddie Nketiah basically trained and worked hard towards getting that starting position. Of course, he didn't really like the fact that he was left out of the starting lineup against Manchester City in his Community Shield. But he came out, he trained. Arteta clearly likes Eddie Nketiah, gave him the opportunity, he scored. You can't talk to him, call him back. You know what I mean? I can't vex with him neither. Saka, this youngster, this star boy is just growing into a force to be reckoned with. Let's be real. Saka is not the most skillful player. However, Saka on a one-on-one will deal with your matters. He would deal with your matters. You mightn't see no sort of crossover and stuff, but he would dribble past you. He would whip the ball. He would strike once he cut inside. And what a beautiful goal from Bukayo Saka. My player actually purchased ordered a Bukayo Saka t-shirt, and it should be coming soon. Yeah. Big up Saka. What I didn't like is the fact that we conceded. I felt like they caught us on the counter attack. They wasn't really doing any threat, They wasn't posing any threat to us. And we end up conceding a beautiful goal though. When you look at the counter attack, I saw the goal scorer sprinting, and Declan Rice have a little knock to get because Declan Rice kind of allowed him to sprint in the direction of our defenders, and they too didn't mark him. Ilanga did his thing on the left side, and it ended up being a goal. Unfortunately for Ramsdale, unfortunately for our defense, unfortunately for Arsenal in terms of closing the 2-0 lead, and unfortunately for me, who had Ramsdale in my fantasy league goal. But nevertheless, we came out with 3 points and we started the season on the right foot just as last year, where we started with a victory. We have Crystal Palace to play next. Of course, when you look at all the other scores, we're not too bad in terms of where we position on the line on the table following game week 1. And I think we would learn from our improvement, we would learn from our mistakes and improve. And with regards to Arsenal and Arteta starting that particular formation, I don't think that would be a common thing for the entire season. I think when we're playing against teams where we could definitely dominate in terms of possession, we would explore with that kind of formation. But I personally feel like Gabriel should start in the back. We should play a back four. We should keep Tierney. We should keep Tierney as a backup. Unfortunate what happened with Timber, but even before Timber's injury, and we still await the official results of that scan and that test on all the testing. But even before that injury, I think that Kieran Tierney needs to remain at Arsenal. Of course, he is a player that deserves to start in a Premier League, any Premier League team. I'm not talking the heavyweight, but Tierney is a starting player. It's just unfortunate that he can't start for us. Of course, Zinchenko not being in the fray, and he's still not starting is concerning for any player of Tierney's caliber. But I feel like Tierney should remain, especially as we campaign throughout this season in the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, League. Tierney should remain. Tomiyasu, we have him as a backup for Ben White. We also have Timber, naturally, who can play on either side. But unfortunately, he's injured. Let us keep this current crop. And we could probably, we heard of Raya being signed today. And by the way, I would try to delay my reviews to get a holistic sense as to what is taking place, even post the actual game. You know what I mean? So I just training all of these stuff, but at the end of the day, we are fighting for the title. Last year, at the starting of the season, we can say that, Now I could confidently say that Arsenal FC will be fighting for the English Premier League title this season. And our next game is against Crystal Palace, because watch now, is always Arsenal.